Good afternoon, guys. I'm Zach. I'm the territory sales manager here at Calagon, and this is Andy, one of our other territory sales managers.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you all for joining us today. Before we get started, we're just going to take a few minutes to let some people join in. In that meantime, if you wanted to shoot some messages in the chat to let us know where you're from, so we can best assist you and put you in touch with the proper independent rep and TSM following the call. Looking at the chat here. I see we have a couple messages in the chat. I see we got Amy Tisdale from Oklahoma, and then we have Robert from Romania. So thank you
Welcome,
both.
Robert.
Thank you both for joining us. Robert, coming in from a little bit far away,
Yeah,
so hopefully the time change isn't too bad, and hopefully we're catching you at a somewhat decent time. But thank you so much for joining in, guys. And we're looking forward to talking with you for the next 30 minutes, answering some questions you have, and going over the new Orbiter Med extended sizes launch. So we're excited about that launch we had at ISS this past week, and looking forward to answering any questions you guys have about it, and just diving into some details on the new extended sizes we have available. So we will give a few minutes to let some people join in before we get started. Um, I know we had Robert and Amy chat in earlier, but do you guys have any early questions before we get started? I see, Amy, you checked out the Orbiter at one of the Abilities Expos last year. Do you happen to know if it was the Orbiter Classic or the Orbiter Med that you tried out at the Abilities Expo? And then just going off of from when we were at ISS, Andy, what kind of feedback did you have initially from when you saw the extended size launch, the demo cushion?
yeah, just like how big it was. I think a lot of people were really surprised to see those dimensions in person. So really excited to be able to support um, folks out there that need that extra support, as well as being able to, you know, follow through. I know Zach, you and Penelope had heard so much feedback from the field that we were just not really able to serve kind of that segment of the population. So really excited for that feedback to turn into kind of a new development for that product. So really excited to be a part of it.
100%, 100%. It's kind of something that like Calgon as a company is really good at. We're always good at like hearing these problems in the field, relaying them back to our engineers, and coming out with solutions. So yeah, there was something that we were just hearing in the fields for a good amount of time now, which is the fact that we were cutting off a good portion of the population that just we weren't serving with the size variety that we had currently. But now we can go up to 27 inches in width or depth in any dimension. So it is pretty cool how we can really help a lot more people. And then we can also go up to a 550-pound weight capacity. So we really can get into those extended sizes. And just so people can see, how big do you guys think this cushion is? Let me just scoot back a little bit because got to get it all on camera. But what would be
Yeah,
your best guess
drop
at this
drop
guy?
your guess in the chat. That
Yeah,
thing's huge.
almost like a little pizza box. You can like carry it around.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be an extended size version of the Orbiter Med. So it still has the same, great technology that you get in Orbiter Med. It's just now we have more some extended sizes available. So before it was limited to 15-15 to 22 by 22, and now we can go up to 27 inches in width or depth. Um, there are some limitations with those extended sizes. So like with the different customizations. So we're gonna pull up the order form here in a little bit and kind of go through that. And then while we're going through the order form, please feel free to chime in and ask any questions you guys may have during that. Um, but yeah, please send a message in the chat. Let us know how big you think this is. And if you're correct, we might be able to have a little prize at the end. So, but yeah, so and it is going to be. I'll give you a little hint. It's going to be in between the 22 to 27 size range. So this will be one of those extended sizes here.
And I think one of the other things I really love about it is the design of it. It wasn't everything just wasn't expanded. There's like actual thought put into the placement of the air bladders. There's thought put into the contours to make sure it was something that could really, be able to support those users and be able to really offer that kind of support that you expect from an orbiter med, just kind of on a different size. So it's not just everything's just not kind of blown up, which is like really cool.
Yeah, 100%. Everything was done, very strategically. The engineers took a lot of feedback, did a lot of testing to make sure everything was done the proper way for this. So we are very excited at Caligon to be able to, help a lot more people now and have these extended sizes available. So we've give a couple more minutes for people to chime in. But I will go ahead and I'm going to pull up the order form just so we can kind of see the different options we have now in the order form, the different customizations on here. So I'm going to present.
Yeah, and that's once we have that up, we can answer that question.
Yeah. Okay, so this is can you see this, Andy?
I can.
Okay, cool. So this is going to be the Orbiter Med order form. So it's going to still have the same initial quote request form at the beginning. So the different dealers just fill out the information for the different patient, the dealer branches, all that stuff. This is some information that the dealers will fill out just on your current wheelchair as well as your current cushion and backrest. That way we can make sure that the Orbiter Med is going to work with what you currently are using. And then these are the sizing options available. So you can go now from 23 to 27 inches. You can choose your different mounting hardware. So we now offer the option to choose between our 3D printed mounting hardware and our mount pouch. Such something that allows you to a little bit easier mount the control unit to the back of a wheelchair. Typically, we find 2 support bars on the back. You can clip it on one of those support bars and it mounts really nice. And then you see here for just the sizing. So we just note that anything that's greater than 22 inches in width or depth is going to fall into the extended sizing. So we can do combinations, but you must be above 16 inches in one of the dimensions to go into like a 23 to 27 inch range. And then you can see the new weight capacity we have for your segment sizing goes up to 550 pounds compared to the standard 300-pound weight capacity. And as the cushion size expands, the weight capacity will also expand. It's going to have these are the same customizations as Orbiter Med. So you have the pre-ischial ridge, posterior lateral pelvic supports, you have your medial thigh support, and then your lateral thigh support. So to hit the E2609 code, you still have to have 2 of those 4 custom options selected. So that won't change with the extended sizing. And then to note for extended sizes for the lateral thigh support, you can only have a 1-inch lateral thigh support. We're not currently able to do 2 inches or 3 inches for lateral thigh supports on extended size cushions. If for some reason you do need to have, let's say, a 2 or 3 inch lateral thigh support, please reach out to your local independent rep or territory sales manager, and we can talk with production to see if that is something that we can work into play. But right now, we can only do the 1-inch lateral thigh support for extended sizes. And then we do offer now one customization for extended sizes only, which is the gluteal extension. So now it's just going to be this extra piece of foam here in the back. You can extend that 1, 2, or 3 inches. And that'll be a nice little gluteal extension customization. It does not affect the position of the lateral pelvic supports relative to the pelvic well. And it'll be added to the cushion length specified on page 3. So if you have a cushion that's like 24 inches, then you add in a 1 or 2 inch gluteal extension, you would then have like a 25 or 26 inch cushion for overall length for the depth. And then same part here, just quote request, just filling the information out for us. Then any extra information that like your therapist or ATP wants to draw in, they can draw it in here, and then we can get that back with production to see if we can make that happen. So just going back over the order form, the main things that we now have for extended sizes, we can now do this gluteal extension. And then we also can go, up to 23 to the 27 inch in width or depth. And then all of the NSM and New Motion dealers should already have this order form, and the local independent rep as well as a TSM should have sent out this order form to the smaller dealers in your areas. So all the dealers should have this order form by now. And if you don't, if you are a dealer, please feel free to reach out to us, and we can send you the new updated order form and get that in your system as well. I know I was talking a lot. Does anybody have any questions based on all that with the order form? Um, I know a lot of times the direct end user is not going to be the one filling out that order form. So if you guys are going to be the ones using the cushion, you probably won't be, using that order form as much. But it is good to know just the different options we have available now for the different customizations. That'll be something your ATP or your clinician is going to be filling out for you during your evaluation.
No, I liked that. That order form really kind of helps visualize some of the new capabilities and new possibilities of those dimensions. It does,
Yeah,
especially, kind of outlining, pretty clearly what we can and can't do. So I love being able to see it up there.
100%, 100%. Yes, great question, Carla. So if you do want to do a modification that's not on the order form, please reach out to your independent rep or your local or your territory sales manager for Calagon, and then we can work directly with the production team to see if that's something that we can make. And then we'll get back with you or your ATP to let you know if we can make that customization work. Um, and there will be sometimes a non-standard customization fee added on to those orders, but yeah, we're able to typically work with our customers to get a little extra custom out there. I know I'm still waiting to see some guesses on my nice big extended size cushion here. I can give you even more of a hint. The size is odd. So it's between 23 and 27 inches. It's the same in width and depth, and it's odd. So, any guesses, but no, it is really cool now that we have the extended sizes available. Like we've been saying, it was something that we just wanted to make sure we did it properly, not just kind of made it bigger. So the engineers really took some time, made the right calls and the different customizations, and I think we have a really good product out now. And I'm really looking forward to helping a lot more people and just hearing the feedback once we get the first couple extended size cushions out in the field.
Yeah.
Today we have that Monday crowd today. Don't be scared to ask any questions. I know Robert on the team will be reaching out to discuss in private anything about working in Romania. So that is something that the team will reach out outside of the chat to discuss further. Are there any changes to how the air pressure should be set up in air seals with these extended sizes? No. So great question, Carla. So still recommended whenever you get a new cushion. Excuse me. If you have a pressure map handy, during the setup, if you have a pressure map there, you can really see where you're having any pressure points, and you can dial in the settings in the phone app that we have. So each cushion is be kind of relative to that patient. So you might have one person that has a lot of pressure under the thighs, and then some guy that has like no pressure under the thighs. So I just recommend that whenever you're setting up the cushion, just have a pressure map handy, see where you're having those pain points, and then adjust as needed. And depending on where you're at, you should have a great independent rep in your area, as well as a TSM that can get on when you're doing that pressure mapping to really make sure you feel confident when setting up those pressure settings, especially for the first couple times. So yeah, feel free to always reach out to your territory sales manager to make sure you have any questions answered, and make sure those settings are set up properly. Weight limit for Orbiter Med, so just the standard Orbiter Med, so anything from a 15-15 to a 22 by 22 is going to be 300 pounds. And then for extended sizing, it's going to be up to 550 pounds. So accessories, yeah. So the accessories that we have available for Orbiter Med are going to be, we have the XLR charger, which is a little charger that allows you to charge your control unit directly from the XLR port on the power chair. We also have the extender cord. I'm not sure if I don't have one. Actually, I do have an extender cord with me. So the extender cord is just a little adapter that attaches to the front of your control unit and gives you an extra power button and charging port. So this part right here plugs into the front of the control unit, which is typically mounted to the back of the chair. And then this runs up along the side and gives you an extra power button and charging port. So that's a very common accessory ordered. And then we also have additional covers available. We can do them in black and blue, as well as all black, depending on which color you would like. Then you can also order additional incontinence covers as well.
Do you have a mount pouch there?
That
I think that could be
is
another.
a great one. I do not. So the mount pouch is almost like a little mini backpack for the control unit. It's probably one of the more common accessories ordered, aside from the extender cord. It makes mounting super easy for the control unit. If you just find two little canes on the back of the wheelchair or just two bars in general, you can mount it really nice to any surface. Orbiter Med usually weighs between 5 to 5.5 pounds. It kind of varies depending on the size cushion you have, obviously, but the control unit's going to be about 2.5 pounds, and then the cushion itself is going to be around 3 pounds. So it's going to be around 5.5 pounds total. We're not seeing any really negativity for any added weight with the control unit. It's always something that people ask, but we're not seeing any added weight for manual chairs with those mounted on there.
So how many prime numbers are between 23 and 27?
It's true.
Trying to think.
I
Yeah.
think there might be only one.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that might be a hint, but it might be a hint.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the first person to get this guess right for the extended size, you might win a reward. I'm telling you.
So what sort of things can you do to take care of the orbiter med? Well, I know that the cover itself is machine washable, so you can take it off, remove it, wash it, hang dry. Um, and that's something that folks are with our accessories. You can order also additional covers just to have those ready to go in place. I think, but what are some other things we can do to keep it?
Another thing is like whenever you take that outer cover off and wash it, you can spot clean your incontinence cover with just like a disinfectant wipe. Um, you can also just to keep the control unit nice. You can always just make sure if you're like out and about and there's like a light rainstorm, just make sure you keep that covered. That way, no water damage gets on it because over time, the little bit of rain or water might get in there and cause some damage. You don't want that happening. But besides that, with the cover itself, just making sure to keep it clean. So you can, like Andy said, you can take it off, machine wash it. We recommend using cold water and then just air drying it. And that's going to be the best maintenance to keep that cover nice and clean. Great question. The charge on the Orbiter Med is going to last between 16 to 22 hours, depending on the redistribution cycle you have selected. So you can have it in either 2, 3, or 5 minutes. And then 5 minutes is going to be what we call the battery saving mode, which gives you about 22 hours of battery life. So we're seeing, typically you get a full day's use out of the cushion. And then whenever you go to charge your devices overnight, you would charge your control unit as well. Then it takes about 4 hours to get a full charge once it's completely dead.
And there is that battery status indicator light on the control box. So when you're charging it, you can really see when those 4 hours are up, or if it's, if you had a little bit of charge in there and it didn't take the whole 4 hours.
100%. And we also, we have a phone app where you can also see the battery life. If you have the phone app pulled open, we can see the little battery indicator, which will tell you how much life you have left. Yeah, great question, Tracy. So to get an Orbiter Med, you can go about it a couple different ways. So if you are currently working with like a wheelchair dealer, like a New Motion, NSM, even one of the smaller ones, feel free to reach out to them and they'd be able to then place a quote request through their system to get an Orbiter Med. And then they would work with us as well as our independent rep local to their area to make sure that you set up an evaluation and get all spec'd out properly and get the correct cushion ordered. But you'd first want to get in touch with either you're an independent rep in your area that we're working with or one of us. So me or Andy can help you get you in touch with the right people to get the process started. But you will have to, work with a dealer to have the proper evaluation. That way the cushion's spec'd out properly. And if you work for the VA, or if you're a veteran that goes to the VA, you can also get an Orbiter Med through your physical therapist at the VA as well. I believe we will be at some upcoming abilities expos. I personally will not be at them, but I think Andy and Penelope, other TSM,
Yes.
will be at them.
Yeah. I'll be up at the upcoming one in New Jersey at the beginning of May, the
Very
first
nice.
weekend of May. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So and then we can also share what events we'll be at in the chat here, as well as mine and Andy's personal or our emails, as well as our contact info. That way, if you have any questions, I know um, Amy. I'm the territory manager for Oklahoma. So if you are interested in learning more about Orbiter Med and possibly getting one, I'd be happy to talk to you outside of the chat and see if we can get you in touch with one of the dealers that we're working with up in Oklahoma, as well as my independent rep, Hannah, out there. She's a great rep and she'd be really good to work with you. So I'd be happy to put you in touch with her and see if we can get you an Orbiter Med as well. And there are our socials, as well as our contact info. So Penelope, who is the West Coast Territory Manager, is currently on a plane, so she's not able to join today. But she would be another great person to talk to if you have any questions out in the West Coast. And then our socials as well, if you want to stay up to date with anything Calagon. But if nobody has any other
No
questions,
guesses.
yeah, I know. I'm still sad no one guessed it right. So spoiler, it was 25 inches. So if someone would have guessed 25, there was a $500 gift card on the line. Unfortunately, I'm just kidding. Um, but again, thank you all so much for taking the time to join us today and learn about Orbiter Med and the extended sizes launch. So we're very excited about it now that we can help a lot more people. And again, feel free to read. Oh, hey Bernard, yes. If you want to drop your email in the chat right now, where are you located at? You stuck your comment in there right there at the end, Bernard. I like it. Oh, perfect. Ohio. Oh, perfect. So yeah,
Great.
we have a really good rep out in Ohio, Bernard. So I'll follow up with you after this call, and then we can see if we can get something going for you. I wish you would have guessed 25. Could have won.